Today we're talking about the RFP and how you can use the RFP to find a great partner for your project.
When we say RFP, what word springs into your head? Please chat in. Annoying, says Caroline. Dependingly, overly thorough, impersonal, overwhelming, not a good adjective or adverb to be found. Yeah, so it's not just you, whoever you are, we all share this complicated, sort of unwieldy process.
So what I've learned in 2 years, having taken a very deep dive into RFPs, is that the RFP is actually a process that is disguised as a document. And we focus on the document, on all the things that the document needs to have, that someone or some checklist or some template said that we need to have for it to be a good RFP. But by focusing too much on the details, you might miss out on the actual process to find that partner and execute on your project.
No matter what they're looking for, what their budget is, what their timeline is, 5 steps. Internal assessment, what you need and why you need it. Second step is demos. Proposals are what an RFP is also going to give you. And then finalist selection. You've met them, you've shared your information, you've seen their stuff, to get all the way to contract signing.
I want to highlight the very important part of the assessment. The assessment is so critical to getting the rest of the steps done, not only because you want a good evaluation process, but because of wherein the RFP actually lies.
If you do need an RFP, here's where it shows up. Assess first, then draft your RFP process and write that document. Yeah, just to hit this home again, the RFP should be your second step. This isn't anything you should do in a hustle or in a reactive way. Try to get enough time to do a good job of the internal steps before you write anything up and send it around.
Consultants and agencies are not mind readers. A number of reasons why you might not actually be getting as many proposals as you want to review. First one, being overly rigid. By making it overly strict and rigid, you might inhibit a creative or a divergent approach that could solve the problem that you have in a way that you might not have thought about. A lack of information or clarity, like something on, say, the budget, might prevent good proposal creation. It's important that you look past your network, especially if you want to work with someone new. Also, skip your biases and find someone new that can, again, give you a different approach. Proposal is a great place to do this. Consider that and how you can make your RFP a little more welcoming so that people that had that experience are open to applying. So this is the meat of the proposal, or I'm already thinking about proposals. This is the meat of the presentation to create an improved RFP process. But you really want to first start off with intentionality in your RFP. And what this means is asking yourself just a few important questions to start off. Have you thought about the goals? Is the project shovel ready? And then is there the internal commitment to abide by the timeline that y'all have put out in the RFP? Because if you don't, you could be sabotaging your own efforts and creating a welcoming and inclusive process. I don't know how many times we're going to emphasize this assessment piece, but it starts with gathering information. It could be an information tour, could mean a very intentional and deep dive in talking with your staff. Should also include reaching out to people that do this kind of work so that it can give you a perspective of how long it would take, what it would cost, as well as give you an opportunity to build those relationships and think about the people that you want to invite. I recently talked to someone that they put out something called a request for conversations. And it was an RFP, and it said, this is the project that we have in mind. They said, we don't want a proposal. We just want you to schedule time with us on our Calendly so that we can talk to you about this project. They ended up getting feedback on their RFP. They're working with those people to invite them to the RFP because they helped shape what that project looks like. Similarly, offering that time for office hours, one-on-ones, sharing your Calendly or a secret Calendly link can allow people to feel a little more welcome and ask those questions that might stop them from responding to your RFP. Dedicate the time. This is a very important one. Dedicate the time to build the values of DEI, of diversity, equity, and inclusion into your RFP, considering where your values are as an organization, as a department, as an individual, and how they intersect with the project that you are working on. You don't want to appear inauthentic here. Abide by the project, abide by the timelines. You want to find a good partner, start by being a good partner. So abide by what you have set out, and you'll find someone that can ultimately work with you in a very good way and kick off that project that you really want. We actually recently just published a blog with every action that goes into greater detail on all these items. This checklist is not only a things to do, but questions to ask yourself.
So only 5 things. Realistic timeline, couple of weeks. Usually for me, consider researching who to invite to participate. It's much of a problem to have too many as it is to have too few. Please include the right information in your RFP. Number 4, please ask in your RFP for details. And again, don't get hung up on proposal format. Don't be very, very prescriptive on how things come back to you, but give your prospective partners some flexibility so that they can present their proposal to you in the way that is a good fit for them. You can totally do this. You're looking for a partner. You're not looking for a vendor. You're looking for somebody who's as invested in the success of your project as you are.
Think of it more as a stepping stone. This is a huge and important way to not only think about your project and really connect with your team or anyone else that is going to work on this, but then design something that can do good for you, for your organization, and for the people that you serve at your nonprofit.
I guess we will wrap it up for today. Alfredo, any last words before we leave?
I like working with RFPs a lot, contrary to some of the popular opinions. So reach out if you all have any questions or thoughts or feedback on this. And thank you so much for joining us today.
And thanks, Bonterra and Every Action. Great to partner with you. Hopefully our paths will cross soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.